it's Janine and welcome to Back to Basics Weight Loss Surgery channel. Today is Thursday and I will be your Thursday vlogger. The question of the week is something that I struggle with tremendously, so I'm going to try to make this a semi-short video, but please forgive me if I ramble. The question is, what revelations have you had in your journey before or after weight loss surgery that made you realize if you were an emotional or stress eater? How do you cope with the set trigger of emotions in relation to food? Whew, alright. I did not figure out that I was an emotional eater until after I had my first weight loss surgery. My first weight loss surgery was in 2007. I had a lap band, an Allergan lap band, and I struggled my ass off with it. I did manage to lose 130 pounds with it, but it was not easy. And every time I'd backslide, the reason for it was because my life was going in the wrong direction. Not until I got a therapist did I realize how bad and how prevalent emotions were to my eating patterns. When I got my second surgery scheduled, which was in 2010, a few months before, I started seeing my therapist who specializes in eating disorders. The only thing I thought that was wrong with me was being a compulsive overeater. I didn't realize how terrible the emotional eating section of my eating disorder was, how major it was. So I started seeing her, and I think it was like session 3. She pointed out to me, "You're an emotional eater." And and I was like, yeah, I could see that, sure. Thinking that she meant, I seek comfort in food. Sure, that's common. I'll admit to that. She expanded what she was saying into more detailed explanation. And she said, when you're happy, you celebrate with food. When you're sad, you comfort yourself with food. When you're lonely, you numb yourself with food. When you're anxious, you try to cover up that anxious feeling in your tummy with food. Pretty much every emotion I have, I go for food. The only time I can say that I don't go for food is when I am so anxious that I feel too nauseous to eat, and that doesn't happen to me too often, knock on wood. So emotional eating is something I deal with tremendously, and not until I got into therapy with an eating disorder counselor did I realize how prevalent my eating disorder was to emotional stress eating. I eat emotionally to numb myself. The only time it's not particularly to numb myself is when I'm happy and I eat to celebrate. I just finished a class. I'm a full-time grad student right now, and I just finished a class on business law, and I thought about this question earlier today, and I was thinking about what I was going to say for this video, and it hit me. I've been so stressed out for the last 6 weeks in this business law class, and my weight has pretty much gone nowhere. Why do you think that is, Janine? I was emotionally eating. I did it consciously for 2 weeks straight. I was so stressed out, I couldn't stand it. I was giving myself PVCs, premature ventricular contractions in my heart. And I was comforting myself with food every chance I got. I was snacking at work like a maniac. I would have my protein shake, and then I'd order breakfast on top of that, and then I'd snack right after breakfast until lunchtime. When lunchtime would come, I'd eat my lunch. Then I'd snack between lunch and the time I got home. When I got home, I'd snack again until dinner time. I'd eat dinner, and then after dinner, I'd pick, and then I'd have my second dinner. I didn't stop eating. for like 6 weeks straight, and it was all stress. So it clicked in my brain today how terrible it still is. Now, what do I do to fight these triggers? Honest to God, I take it hour by hour. I'm really that bad. I need to break it down hour by hour. Some people can break it down day by day and just have, you know, just start out the day with the affirmation that I'm going to have a good day and I'm going to stick to my plan, and no snacking for me except for the ones that I plan out, and you know, it's going to be a good day and I'm not going to let my emotions get in the way of me. I'm not going to let my emotions screw up my goals. And some of you can do that and make it through a whole day successfully. I can't. I got to break it down hour by hour. There's a couple times in the day where I can make it a couple hours at a time, but for the most part, it's hour by hour. And I've been doing pretty good lately, but I had a few days where I had to tell myself, Janine, focus on your goals. You're not hungry. You don't even feel hungry. You don't feel a thing in your stomach right now. Maybe you're thirsty if you feel anything in your stomach. You're not hungry. What you need is not in the kitchen. Maybe you need a hug from somebody. Maybe you need to have a better career. Maybe you need, I don't know what it could be. Maybe you just need to have a good laugh with some friends. Maybe you need to vent about the stresses in your life. Maybe that's what you need. But food is not what you need. And I have to chant this to myself for a good 5-10 minutes straight until it tapers off, until the urge to eat tapers off. And then I can go on with the next 30 minutes of my day. And then it comes up again. My brain kicks in. I want food. I don't care what I just said to myself for 5-10 minutes straight. I want food. I need comfort. I'm a good person. I try so hard. I work so hard. I'm in school full time and I work full time and blah, blah, blah. I give myself this resume of things that I do, and all of this means that I deserve to splurge on food. I deserve to feed my emotions, and if I want it, I deserve it, damn it. That might be all said and true, but I'm sabotaging myself if I give in to that. So I can't do that. And that's why I break it down hour by hour. It's something, like I said, I still struggle with every single day. I am not over this. I wish I had a solution for you to tell you how to fight your emotional eating and to make it go away. But I don't. I can share with you what works for me sometimes. And sometimes chanting to myself for 5-10 minutes to focus on your goals and that you're only going to sabotage yourself by giving into that Mike and Ike urge, you know? And that shuts me up for half an hour, and then I got to do it over again. And to be honest with you, I've made it through 4, 5, 6 days now without derailing and going for pure sugar. So I've been doing real good lately. So it does work sometimes, but you know, there are times where that urge beats me and I give in. So we're all going to have slip-ups basically, and it's going to happen. You know, it's a fight every single day. Every day it's a fight. And it doesn't get easy sometimes, you know. Sometimes you can skid by a couple days and you barely notice it, and you look back and you're like, whoa, I did pretty freaking good. But then there's days where you are just, you know, I've had days where I've cried because I couldn't go eat food. I've cried. It was really that bad. So, you know, if you're suffering with any of this, I just want you to know that you're not alone. You know, we all go through it at some point, and it you know, can get as severe as mine, or it could be as easy to conquer as, you know, some very lucky people in the world. So you never know, you know. I hope this was helpful to you in any way. Please feel free to make a video response, post your comments below. Tell us, what do you do to conquer your emotional eating? Do you have tips and tricks? And if you do, please share with us. Lord knows I would be happy to see it. So if you have anything to add, please feel free to. I love you. Have a fantastic Thursday. I will see you next Thursday, guys. Bye.